What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Sundari Broadcast System, or where we're at here, Sundari Command Updates, where we're giving you the freshest. Stop that. We're giving you all this. We're giving you all the exciting news in the future of Star Wars and what's going on in the world of Star Wars. We're keeping you up to date, and we're giving you our own 2 cents, our own opinions as we address these leaks, rumors, talk about the shows, Mandalorian, Ahsoka, all of that good stuff. I'm your host, Shane Sherman. And here we are joined by Mr. Chief over here, my co-host officially.
Hi.
Which he will stay on for the full episode. Hopefully, I'm just kidding.
Hopefully.
Alrighty. But happy to have you all back here today. And we're happy to see you all here today. So let's kind of just get right into this, Where we left off last time was talking about Acolyte, and we were kind of talking about Ahsoka there. But we're going to just kind of go back on those two subjects. Chief wasn't there really to talk about Ahsoka or Acolyte. Our main focus today, though, will be addressing and mainly discussing Acolyte. We're going to touch a bit there on Ahsoka. But first, we kind of want to give you our review of the most recent Mandalorian episode. That's big. It's still some big news over there, and we want to talk about some of that stuff. And I think I know what I want to talk about, and I'll just get out of the way. Right now, spoilers, if you're watching this, by the way. Ahmed Best, welcome back. That's all I have to say, Oh, dude,
that was a surprise.
It was a surprise.
I had to do a double take. I was like, I think I know who that is, but I can't put my finger on it.
I'll be honest right now, and I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, I knew him right away. Be honest, I waited until the credits rolled. Be like, oh, I'm at best. It was insane. That was for me. Okay, I know. I know who Mr. Rule Britannia is. Get out of here. But no, it was. I think that was exciting to have him back. Everybody was joking about how Jar Jar Binks is going to save Grogu, and literally, Jar Jar Binks saved Grogu.
Yeah, that is very true.
I know. On another note, me and Chief kind of talk about I'll say right here, me and Chief do like to talk about our opinions a little bit and our reviews of the episode, and we had a disagreement.
Yes, we did, Shane.
So I'm gonna let Chief take us away on this disagreement first, and just have fun with it.
Personally, I thought the episode was a pseudo filler. It wasn't. It was a great episode. Don't get me wrong. I loved the episode. But it felt kind of out of place. Yeah, it was really cool how we got Paz Vizsla's son in there and different things like that, and 3 new foundlings to the covert that are gigantic bird creatures. But then we got an homage to Liam Neeson's iconic line, "There's always a bigger fish." And there too, that was beautiful. But personally, it was a pseudo filler episode for me.
So, where me and obviously Chief had a disagreement on it was the discussion of how it's pseudo filler. For me, it wasn't as much as a pseudo filler for me, honestly. I know the big takeaway from this episode is the Order 66 flashback thing. That's the biggest takeaway we can get from this episode, It's insane. All right. That wasn't, to me, as much, though, a pseudo-filler episode. We were definitely world-building. We were showing the covert more than we showed it in season 1,
That's very
But here's
true.
the thing. Here's the thing where me and Chief disagreed about. We only saw the covert for about 3 episodes in the season 1, at least, maybe. We're definitely, and none of it like season 2. Only like 1 scene, maybe
One
at
episode.
Most.
Yeah.
And Book of Boba Fett touched on it again, but we were on a Halo ring, and we only had 2 people there. And now we're really back together with this covert in season 3 now. And so this was definitely a nice interest in your world building. I think this was also giving us the lens of what we're seeing with Bo-Katan.
100%.
We may not be directly, we may be watching our main characters, Din and Grogu, but this was definitely like we're kind of seeing it through the lens of Bo-Katan. For example, how do you eat when others are around? You don't. You wait until everybody disperses, and then you finally eat. It was kind of just seeing it through her end. Maybe it is a filler for some of you. I get it. You want to see action, you want to see cool stuff. And don't get me wrong, Order 616, awesome.
That was really cool.
But it wasn't a student for me. It was a nice building scene.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I will agree with you on that.
I will say though, was that our first time we saw a live action shock trooper? Coruscant Guard?
Probably no.
Wow.
We see Coruscant live action
episode
Coruscant
3.
Guard episode 3.
Okay, but I was say like that was because it's been a while since I've seen them live action.
Yeah.
But so it was dope to see them. I will say I think another person brought this up to me, and I want to hear Chief's opinion on this. Is it a little stupid in your opinion, or a little like come on opinion, like that 4 Jedi got gunned down that easily by like 3 of the 7 troopers?
Yeah, that's stupid. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you've trained your entire life and have been in a war for 3 years and have been training constantly on how to deflect blaster shots, how do you die? How? It doesn't make sense.
One of them was a heavy. Okay, one of them was a heavy because I like rewatching Mandalorian. You could see the guys holding his like blaster like this.
Yeah.
One of them was a heavy, so that guy had a minigun.
The Z6 probably
Got through.
That makes sense. But for regular DC-15s, no.
I agree with you. You know, I think it was a little like come on, but it's Order 66. We had to kill them all. You know, but it's insane that. I want to know why, in my opinion, Kelleran was so held up on getting Grogu out of the temple.
That is a really good question.
Why were 4 Jedi, well, actually 7 in total, sent to protect him?
Mm-hmm. I think Kelleran had such a big, like, part of it because he was the one who was training all the younglings, he was kind of Yoda's right-hand man in that aspect of when he was training younglings. But 7 Jedi, it is a little bit much. But for that, I think it was a necessity.
Yeah, I agree with you. But why not 7 Jedi for every youngling?
Because there's not that many Jedi, Shane.
Sure. But you understand why I'm questioning about that,
yes,
you know? 7
yes.
Jedi, you know? Okay, we're not here to do a review on Mandalorian. We're here to talk about the juicy stuff Star Wars feature. But that's our take. That's our opinion. Where Mandalorian is going, I actually have no clue. And I'm a little happy I have no clue. At first, with the trailers, I thought they gave away too much. But if you think about it, we've gotten basically the entire trailer from just 4 episodes alone. And we have 4 more to go, I believe so. It's a sad thing about.
Yeah.
4 more to go, sad thing about. But
the season.
Still, this is insane. I don't know where we're going. I'm a little happy about that. And I'm a little excited.
It's nuts.
You know, like everybody thought the end goal would be gain to Mandalore. Nope. Episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
So what is our end goal? I can't wait to understand. I can't wait to see what's going on there, you know. But let's just get right into this, you know. And I think I want to just head on. We're gonna tackle this one because this is a big one. And this is so.
This is one that we disagree on too, slightly. For Acolyte.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to go on the Acolyte just yet. I know. I think you know exactly where I'm leaning first.
Okay. I don't.
The title of this episode is "Future of Star Wars." It really is. It is the direction in future where Star Wars can go. And the big one I want to talk about first and get it out of the way right now before we really dive deep into Acolyte. And everybody, I do want to say this right now. This is not confirmed. Do not take us as fact. Do not take us as the word. You know, this is a rumor. These are leaks going around. This is what we mainly address, our opinions, our own little theorizing, all that good stuff. So, Kathleen Kennedy's possible removal from Disney.
Oh, I forgot about this topic. To say I'm happy wouldn't be the correct words because I'm ecstatic. If this is true, this is going to change everything. Because now Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, if this happens, would have complete control of Star Wars in Disney. They wouldn't have to listen to anybody. And it's kind of crazy to think about. It really is.
I agree with you, dude. If I think the entire Star Wars community would rejoice. I know some people like Kathleen Kennedy's direction in certain things. I'm not gonna say. I'm not saying she was bad because she is technically responsible for giving us Mandalorian. She's responsible for giving us, bad. I mean, obviously John
She's
Favreau is
also
really
responsible for giving us those last 3 Star Wars movies that
yes,
aren't.
which is what's gonna bring her down for the rest of her life. And I think we all can agree. Whatever your takes are on the sequels, we're not here to discuss hot takes and hot. I mean, we kind of are sometimes. We like to spice it up. Spice it up. But we're not here to talk about the sequels. We're talking about the future of Star Wars now because that's the past. If she is removed, if it is the decision has already been made for like the quotas going around, the decision has already been made after Indiana Jones 5. She is gone. The question is, and I don't really want to dive deep into that right now, but the question obviously is who takes your place. Who's gonna become that next big figure? Like
either John Favreau or Dave Filoni.
100%.
100%. It has to be.
It has to be one of those two, or it has to be someone that's gonna let them take the reins for most of the stuff. But why not just give it to them then?
Yeah.
That's obviously a big question we all have to ask ourselves because if she is going to go, if that decision has already been made, and she is gone. It's obviously a leaking rumor. We do not know for a fact if she is gone yet or if she will be gone. But if she is going to go, the direction of Star Wars completely changes. Because what are we going to get? What shows are going to get canceled?
That's true.
That's the big question. What shows that are not in production right now or in pre-production? What shows are going to get canceled? What shows are going to get written off? What is the next step they're going to take? Are they going to go past the Skywalker saga? Are we finally going to leave it alone? We're obviously going to have the Mandalorian, Ahsoka, a couple other shows. Mandalorian, Ahsoka, mainly the big ones. Obviously Black Squadron, Rogue Squadron. We're getting Rogue Squadron. Or is it Black Squadron or Rogue Squadron?
I think it's Rogue Squadron.
I believe it's Rogue Squadron. I think we're getting that as a movie. Basically a Top Gun version of Star Wars X-Wings.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited about that too. And then we're also getting a couple other stuff. But what and Skeleton Crew. But what is the direction of those? What's going to change after that? Because it's a big question. That's like the 4 main ones they're saying in Skywalker Saga that, as I know of right now, that are in production, in post-production, or in like mainly production right now, writing all of that. Well, you still have like other shows like Lando, a couple other scatter ones. What's the direction that's going to go with those guys? Because a lot of these shows can get canceled. The ones I don't see getting canceled right now, Ahsoka and Acolyte. They're already in production. They're already filming. They're already doing a bunch of their stuff.
I can see Rangers of the Republic not coming through because of it.
Yeah, true. As much as I would like to see that because it's a buddy cop fucking show, basically, with how they explained it, it'd be really funny to watch that stuff. I could see it not going through. But the giant question is where does that go? And that is what I think we're gonna opinionate on here today. As I said, we are very much kind of opinionating, we're theorizing, but we're also addressing. As much as we are opinion based, or sometimes kind of like we want to go over our own opinions, we like to see certain stuff happen. We're also trying to give you not the most opinionated stuff. We're giving you our honest review, what can happen, and then we're giving you our opinionated review. And personally, if we're going to, my opinionated review, if the future of Star Wars can go in a direction, I would love to see us go to the Old Republic.
Oh, 100%.
I think everybody would love to, Then obviously the next step is, and what you could easily do is going to the future where it's a playground. You're literally your own sandbox. You can do whatever the heck you want, I personally think this is a very hot take. David Chief might not agree with me on this one. I think we should I think we should stop touching the Skywalker Saga. I think it is done once we get done these shows.
Yeah,
let it be.
Need to do a fresh new thing. Exactly. That's not the hero falling into a villain arc. Need to maybe do a villain falling into a hero arc. That could work.
What they attempted with Kylo Ren.
That didn't work. If they do it right, it'll make sense. If they don't do it right, that's what won't. Sorry. If you see me checking over here, I'm checking my second screen. I'm looking things up.
Hey, don't worry. I understand what he's doing. So no one But the question, it's obviously very insane. And I think I think honestly, the future of Star Wars is right now hinged on possibly going to the Old Republic, and here's why. Because now we're going to move from Catholic identity being removed. We'll address on it later. But it's a big thing. If she is removed, entire direction of Star Wars changes because we don't know. It's basically up in the air what can happen now, and where it could all go, what roads she'd take. Because if she is gone, personally, I would like it. She brought us good things. She is technically responsible for like Rogue One, Mandalorian, Bad Batch, giving us the Clone Wars season 7. But I mainly give responsibility to the directors, to Dave for doing some of that stuff, John doing some of that stuff as well. Don't get me wrong, she did bring us good stuff. I personally love to see her gone though. In my opinion, they botched the last 3 films completely.
Yeah.
I know.
I think in part to that was the indecisiveness on
What to do.
On 1, what to do, and 2, directors.
Yeah.
Because pick one. Also, the first 6 had 1 director. First 6 had 1 director. The last 3 had 3 different directors.
Yeah.
3 or 4. Like, it was...
I believe the original trilogy actually did switch directors, but it was all under George Lucas's direction.
Wait. No, because the prequels, he brought in Steven Spielberg.
Yes.
For 1 and 3. I think he completely did it on his own for 2.
Yes. But I do believe the original trilogy had 3 different directors, but it was all under his direction. I believe so.
That makes sense.
Because I have the Empire Strikes Back poster right here. I'm trying to see maybe who directed it. I'm trying to, directed by Irvin Kershner. Kirshner, maybe. Just look up who directed it real quick. Because I believe of A New Hope, the director of New Hope was not him.
Yep, Irvin Kershner.
For what?
ESB.
Yeah. Oh yeah, director for New Hope is George Lucas.
Yeah, Wow, he directed RoboCop. Dang. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, you good?
Just wanted to get that out of the way.
That's a director of Return of the Jedi, Yeah, Richard Marker directed Return of the Jedi. So there were technically 3 different directors.
Yeah. For
the first 3, but under George Lucas' direction, and that's what we needed. It's a better direction, I know we had this discussion last night. I'm a supporter for The Last Jedi. I think it did its mark, But we're not going to get into that. We're not here to get into that.
We're here to get into that. We're here to talk about Acolyte.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. Because this is the big one. This is what is going to
that I've been prepping a week for. So
this is the one that it's going to be fun and it's going to be interesting. And I want to see where this show can go. Because if it's good, I think I know what the future of Star Wars is going. So let's talk about it. Let's just get the basics out of the way. For you that don't know, Acolyte, for you that are just tuning in today, or maybe you're going to listen later, Acolyte is basically all about the High Republic era. How they described it is we are at the end of the High Republic era where a series of dark and mysterious crimes are taking place, and a Jedi and her old Padawan have to investigate it. It's basically what the story is, kind of. But we're at the end of the High Republic era, we're dealing with Sith. Yeah. That's the clue. And that's exciting for me because it's something kind of new, This is a ground where you can play with and have some fun if you don't mess it up.
Yeah. I think they do need to follow the books first, the new High Republic books. Mm-hmm. But if they follow those that'll be fine.
Yeah.
As long as they don't screw that up, they'll be fine.
I can't agree. But I think I'm very excited for this, From what we are seeing, from what we are getting, is that obviously Acolyte has recently started production in November. So it's been in production for about a couple months now. You had December, January, February. We're now in March. It's been in production for about 4 months. We're getting close to 5 now. So it's very interesting where it could go. There have been already leaked photos from it, and there are some very cool leaked photos of it. But the big takeaway from this series, it is the rise of the Sith. You know, we're entering that period. So what is going to take place? You know.
That's a very good question, Shane. I don't know. Nobody really does know.
True.
But we're gonna hope they do it right.
Yeah.
But let me see if I can. We were given a brief synopsis of Acolyte when they announced the series back in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Synopsis is: The Acolyte is a mystery thriller that will take viewers into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. So, this is a thing that I want to argue. I don't think this is going to be Rule of Two. I think that this is going to be Malgus Rule of Many. Because if the Old Republic games have taught us enough, like KOTOR and SWOTOR, if you all have ever played that game, there are pardon my French, but a butt-fuck ton of Sith. Like, an insane amount. It's crazy. To continue the synopsis, it says, a former Padawan reunites with her Jedi Master to investigate a series of crimes, but the forces they confront are more sinister than ever anticipated. So, what is that going to give us?
Okay, I agree with you. But this is where I disagree with you. If you've read the High Republic books, there's a Sith kind of thing. They're dark Jedi. They're not really Sith. They are called the Bogan Collective. I think you're still getting ruled to a Sith. I think it's 100% still the rule to a Sith. Still happening around.
Personally, I don't think that that's true. But we'll see where the series takes us, Shane.
Okay, yes.
If the series takes us there.
Yes, from what I'm looking at right now, just to go over my notes right here again, is one note is that it is hoped to set release in 2024. So we have to wait a couple more months, ladies and gentlemen, another year basically, most likely, for this show to get released. But it's 2024. It is for sure going to be 2024 when it's going to debut and all that good stuff. Without any pushbacks or any other stuff that's going on. But a big takeaway from what everybody's saying is that there's been high expectation for it, but basically Daisy Ridley praised upon the Star Wars series.
Yeah.
So many of you may not like Daisy Ridley, many of you may like her character, but still, from what everybody's basically saying is that this has never been done before in Star Wars.
No, it hasn't.
So it's very interesting. This is basically the turning point because if this show turns out to be amazing, turns out to be really good, high praise from the community, you're obviously going to have the pushback from certain people who like their old stuff, But if this does incredibly well, I could see us, and I think Chief can agree with me on this, I can see us mainly focus on the Old Republic days, the High Republic days.
100%.
Because if this is never been done before, if this is basically like highly anticipated, it's going to make history, it could literally change the direction of Star Wars to let's go back in the past and go play around with some of the past like stuff, Yeah.
I think that they're going to get a very a high influx of players for the Star Wars The Old Republic game.
Yes.
That is going to become so big that they're going to need to open a new server for it. For North America, at least, because they already have 2. And I think max players they have on is like they can hold 20 to 30,000 at a time. But there's so many people in this Star Wars fandom that if they can run Star Wars The Old Republic, they're going to play it.
Of course.
And personally, coming from personal experience, that game is very fun. I've had a lot of fun with it. My brother's had a lot of fun with it. I've had friends in the past that have played it way too much. But yeah, I'm predicting a very large influx of players for that game.
I think an interesting quote I want to take away from like the directors and from people saying this is the main takeaway for their ideas of this show was how did the Jedi end up? Like, how do we end up with the Jedi? Why did Jedi like this in the Phantom Menace? Because the Order has to make that switch.
Yes.
We're very follow the will of the Force, this and that, to we're now following the direction of the Senate, to political stuff. Where is that switch at? Why do we do that? Why are they so convinced that they've ended the Sith for 1,000 years?
I think the switch could have been Yaddle. It could have been Grandmaster Yaddle. We don't know, but it could have been. Great theories coming from this.
It is, you know. But I just want to know. It's like interesting to see what goes on at this point. So it seems that I don't know where they're looking at, but apparently for right now, the Acolyte has at least 8 hours worth of stuff right now. Filmed.
Crap.
Or ready to go, you know?
Yeah.
From what like I'm seeing, from what's going on, you know.
They could stretch that out to be like 8 to 16 episodes in the first season if they want it to be.
You know, from what it looks to be is that they've already got a first season down the books. You know, that the first season, that their first season could run for a while. You know,
maybe.
I want to see what they can do with that because if it is going to be, because like what it is saying, everybody, is that this show may have 60-minute episodes every episode.
That's going to be a lot.
It's a lot of content, but this is what we need. You know, this is going to be content that is kind of needed.
100%.
It's not like we've seen this stuff before where you can have Bad Batch run for 26 minutes. You kind of already know what's going around that universe. This is new. This is fresh. Insanely fresh, you know? And it is interesting because, like I said before, if the Acolyte does good, it is insane to see where it can go.
It's also very important for it to do well so that they have that opportunity to open things up.
Yeah. I don't know if any of you also kind of know this. I don't think Chief knows this. I think he's done his research, hopefully. One of the directors of Daredevil is directing a couple episodes.
I did not know this.
And if we know Daredevil, ladies and gentlemen, it's very dark episodes sometimes. And that's what I kind of want. This show, if you're making me focus on the dark side or making me look at some dark side stuff, there are stuff in Star Wars. It is pretty dark. And we don't like to address that as much. Or we see it for the first time and you're like, oh my God. You know?
Yeah. Clone Wars is not a kid's show.
It isn't. Clone Wars showed some gruesome stuff. But I think like people don't understand this. Andor to the first type of like actual torture scenes that we got to see.
Yeah.
Some dark stuff happens. You know, it is true. Especially if you're dealing with Sith stuff. They're insane. Yeah. So like I said, if the future of Star Wars is gonna basically, it all hinges on Acolyte, everybody. I don't think everybody is gonna pay attention. The future of Star Wars is hinging on Acolyte. Mandalorian is one of the reasons it's going to also hinge on as well because it's going to basically tell what directions we're going to go.
100%.
You know? But Acolyte is going to be a big hinge because if that door is successful, there should be no reason why Acolyte gets another season, you know? It's a third season maybe, you know? Doesn't go deeper into the High Republic here. Gives us new content, new characters. Maybe it leads to the open door of everybody wanting to actually see Old Republic, which you might actually just get. If that's the crazier part.
I want to see for all of my Star Wars: The Old Republic players, I want to see the Revanchist, because that would be amazing.
It would be. It would be.
The Revanchist would be awesome.
I think another cool thing to see would be Valkorian.
That would be, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You could do it too.
It's
It's not hard to do it, honestly.
No.
If honestly, you want to make a good Star Wars game, you want to make a good Star Wars show about the Old Republic, just do your research on the games. Maybe play them. Maybe
just be Henry Cavill, you know.
Play them. How about you be like The Last of Us, that literally played the game and said, let's just copy and paste that and make our own changes there and there, you know?
Pedro Pascal like watched his son play the beginning of the game because he didn't have like the willpower to do it himself. It's crazy.
Literally, if you want to adapt the games,
yes,
and have a moment. You know, actually, and this is a very hot take, Chief. I don't know if you ever watched Game of Thrones.
No.
Okay. The directors of Game of Thrones, mainly the producers, and if certain person I know is in here, he would say absolutely not. Do not let them direct anything. But me and my dad have had this conversation before. As much as season 8 of Game of Thrones fell off, those directors and producers knew how to adapt. They didn't know how to create really something or like play fanfic, you know, basically Game of Thrones at that point. They knew how to adapt really well. They adapted his first 5 books, the first 5 seasons, basically his first 5 books, insanely well. It is one of the most high praised shows of all time, you know? If those two were originally down to do Star Wars, get them, you know? They will adapt KOTOR and the video games fucking perfectly.
If they play them, yes.
Yes.
That's the only thing that is a requirement now. Is playing the actual fucking video games.
I don't know. You know, those cheap like the cut. I'm just kidding.
Huh?
I was looking at my haircut.
Oh,
I gotta say.
Oh, dang! Nice.
I freshened up for this episode. Everybody, welcome. Nice. But no, what I'm saying is, literally, Lucasfilm, Disney.
If any of you were watching right now, which you probably aren't, but listen.
If you're gonna do it, if you're gonna have a successful Acolyte show and it's gonna do well, and you want to do Old Republic or the High Republic stuff, how about you read the books, you read the comics, you play the game, and you literally have success. You know, I don't got Keanu Reeves for much longer. Okay.
No. Yeah. We lost Lance Reddick. We don't have Keanu Reeves for much longer. We need.
For any of you who don't know, I want Keanu Reeves to play Revan. But
I don't know about that.
Me and him about to have a disagreement again, but
I don't know. I honestly, for the way that he is portrayed in the video games, I don't think Keanu would be a good casting. He's a good actor, but not for that.
Get out of here.
No, not for Revan.
So let's real quick talk about our casting for the Acolyte.
Well, that is very true.
Because it's a big thing, you know. We have Define King, Lee Jung-jae, who obviously, if you guys watched, I may have, mind you, pronouncing my also literal pronunciations at the pronunciation of these people. I suck at pronouncing names sometimes. But Lee Jung-jae was the star of Squid Game.
Oh, Squid Game.
You have Amanda, I think it's Amanda Stenberg, Manny Jacinto, Jodie Turner-Smith, Charlie Barnett, Dean Charles Chapman, Rebecca Henderson, Carrie Ann Moss. Hey, Chief, you watched The Matrix, right?
I'm uncultured. I need to watch it. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, folks. We've lost our host. Okay. I'll be your host now.
Oh. For any of you who've actually watched The Matrix, Carrie Ann Moss is the lovely actress that played Trinity. So, if she really is, I would love to see her. And then you have Margaret Matrix.
I need to.
So, we know Lee Jung-jae's character and possibly Define King are the main characters of the show. They look to be it from the leaked photos. We know Lee Jung-jae is a Jedi Master. And we know probably Define King is probably the Padawan. From the description of the show, that is probably our 2 main characters. everyone else is up in the air. You don't know where they're at. You don't know what they're going to be. For all you know, all of these people can be Jedi actors. All of them can be Jedi actors. So right here we have some of the leaked photos right now. So there's Lee Jung Jae right there as a Jedi Master. I love the yellow robes.
Yeah, it's very Obi-Wan-esque.
It's very Obi-Wan-esque, but it's like very High Republic-esque.
Yes.
So we have that. We also, if you want to go cut to the next one, a Wookiee Jedi, boys.
Okay, more than just Gunji.
Okay,
I'm so excited.
Okay, if he speaks English, I'm gonna laugh.
If he speaks Common, I'm going to bust out laughing
because I'm gonna be hearing, hey guys.
Oh my god.
So I don't think this is a Jedi right here.
I think, well, it's Zabrak. It's a Zabrak woman. So it could be, but it couldn't. It's a toss up here. The dark robes, kind of. It is a brown cloak, so possibly. She's standing right next to the Wookiee.
My sister magic.
So, also this one.
Yeah, bounty hunter.
This I think is either a bounty hunter, or this is the Padawan that we're being told about in that synopsis.
Wait, let me pull that up.
It does have a bow, and I got rid of that link. My apologies.
Let me see. I'm looking at it right now as well. Comparing to see the Acolyte cast, I don't think it's the Padawan.
I don't know.
Could
be her.
I think that's the Padawan. I think.
Yeah, this is the Padawan.
They're the main star. I think she's a Padawan, and I think Lee Jung Jae is the master. Yeah. Or is master, I think this is a bounty hunter. But
it could be. There does have a full quiver of arrows.
Yes.
So, possibly. Also, thank you to Kyle Katarn for releasing these photos last year.
Okay.
Last year.
Here's the question. A big question.
Big question? Big question? What are we talking about here?
I'm more excited to see if we get to see the pre-prequel era of Coruscant and the Jedi Temple.
Ooh. So you're talking like, here's the thing. If you've played the games, they aren't on Coruscant.
They're on Tython.
They're on Tython.
This is High Republic era where they're on Coruscant. They're on Coruscant.
But Old Republic states they're on Tython.
Yeah, but this is the High Republic era. This is 200 years before the events of Phantom Menace. They're on Coruscant at this time.
I don't know.
Mind you, during Malgus's reign, they were on Coruscant.
Well, they got swiftly pushed off of Coruscant by Malgus with the help of Shae Vizsla.
Yes, but the High Republic era, they're on Coruscant. And mind you, hey, how long did Master Yoda live?
930 years, I think.
Okay.
940-ish.
Okay.
So Yaddle is in this, I know.
Subtract like another 200 years. Yoda's in this.
But Yaddle.
Yaddle, yeah, Yaddle's in this too.
Yaddle has to be in this.
But here's the thing: if I look up this correctly, if I looked up the High Republic Grand Masters, I think Yoda's one of them. For any of you who don't know, Grand Master rank is not the wisest and most and like always the best of Jedi. That sounds wrong. They are.
Not the top.
It's technically Master of the Order is the top, but Grand Master gets a lot of like checks as well. Grand Master is the oldest member of the Jedi Order. That's how you get Grand Master rank. But the High Republic Grand Masters at this time are Lao Ru, Yoda, and Pretar Vetor.
So are they just completely retconning Yaddle?
No, Yaddle's here, but Yaddle's not a Grandmaster. Yaddle's just a Jedi Master.
Okay.
Yoda's older than Yaddle.
Okay.
You're gonna have Yaddle. Well, this is the thing. We also may not.
I think Yaddle is a Grandmaster at this time, but I also could be wrong.
You're wrong. No, I'm joking.
Okay, I'm wrong.
But here's the thing. I want to. So everybody, don't be confused. Get out of it. No, that was a little jokes, everybody. But I would love to see like pre-equal era Coruscant and that Jedi Temple. You know. Because there's Yoda. We could see Yoda in this show.
We could
and
see.
That's a little crazy.
Who else could we possibly see that we know from the prequel era?
Isn't Plo Koon like a 300 years old?
I don't know.
It's very interesting. But one of the confirmed ones, obviously, Yoda and Yaddle. Obviously, you're not seeing Windu, everybody. Don't get your hopes up for the human Jedi. They only live for like 100 years at most. But this is, like I said, most nights, you know, because it's where is the future of Star Wars going to go if Acolyte, this is all ifs, you know, if Acolyte does really well, the future of Star Wars, I could totally see taking the direction of, like I said, multiple times throughout the show, to the High Republic and Old Republic eras, you know, which that would be insane. Because if we see films, shows based off the Old Republic era, oh my Philanta, the amount of lightsaber combat you will see, the wars literally fought between Jedi and Sith, like hundreds of Jedi, hundreds of Sith, literally on a battlefield murdering each other. It's gonna be crazy,
dude.
You know?
The CGI's. I hope they don't screw it up because
I hope see Morban or Korriban in live action.
Ooh.
If they did it, Zaku in live action, Tython in live action.
It has to be. And these leaked photos that we just saw, they give me very much in the middle of the Tython forest.
I mean, Tython was still a Jedi temple around. The Jedi had multiple temples around.
Yes.
Like, for example, we have the one on Lothal, you know. So we could be hopping around between different Jedi temples.
We could.
Which is a little very interesting that the Jedi stopped using their temples during around the prequel era, which is more interesting why, you know. Because you had the Jedi actually at different temples in different locations. It'd be very interesting for them to do that, you know?
Yeah.
But
get back to what you were saying about Plo Koon. Plo Koon is 382 years old, but it's 382 Keldor years. Looking on r/Maw installation, somebody searched around for information about Keldor years. The orbital period is about the same as Earth's. So he could be either around 360 going up to 400 Earth years old. It's all that.
If we're using just for us to nerd out real quick, the Keldorian planet, I'm forgetting the name of it right now, is between two black holes.
What?
Yeah.
I did not know this.
Yeah, it's literally between two black holes. So that explains why.
Yeah, I need to read more of the comics.
But that's a possibility still. If it's really weird, the kind of thing, but it's a possibility to see a young Plo Koon.
Yeah, that's definite. That's a definite possibility.
That's a definite possibility there. I think Ki-Adi-Mundi's pretty old. I don't want to see him because he's a dick, but still.
He's not so much a dick as much as he was a psychopath. Like if you read some of the lore about Ki-Adi-Mundi, he had 8 wives.
I know he did.
And
I know he did.
2 brains and 2 hearts and things like that. It is crazy, people. I am trying to look this up. Give me 1 second. Let me see if
just trying to think about gentlemen.
Born in 93 BBY, so we won't see Ki-Adi-Mundi. in
Okay.
this show.
That's okay. So the main ones are
Thank
the
God.
the older guys, which you're probably just looking at Yoda and Yaddle, maybe Plo Koon in there.
Maybe.
Mix. You could find some other ones, but those probably like randos you never met before.
Will we see the fall of the Jedi Temple on Coruscant due to the Mandalorian purge? Well, I might be quoting the Mandalorian purge wrong. Tar Vizsla. Will we see Tar Vizsla in this show? Because it is about that time frame when he made the Darksaber, and this might also be a complete arc in this show. We don't know.
Possibly. You probably know more about that.
I'm a Mandalorian nerd, so yes, I probably do.
That is a possibility. Let's see, but I don't see the Jedi Temple falling in the show.
I could see it, but I also couldn't.
I'm understanding on the take of why did the Jedi become so political?
Yeah.
Because that's a big thing. But the future of Star Wars is in a very interesting direction because it's all hinge on mainly three things at this point. The success of Mandalorian, Kathleen Kennedy's removal, and the success of Acolyte. As I said, for two of them, they are all leaks and rumors. Do not take our words as fact.
Yeah,
they are mainly us addressing them, basically repeating them a little bit, giving our own thoughts and opinions on it or takes on it, and giving you as most the reliable information you find.
To give more light on that subject of Kathleen Kennedy. Sorry to go back on this.
Yeah,
we said we wouldn't. There was a YouTuber by the name of John Campia. He said on one of his live streams, "This is what I have heard. I have heard that the decision to remove Kathleen Kennedy has already been made, and that she will be gone either sometime before very, very, very shortly thereafter the release of Indiana Jones 5. Then he went on to say, "Now I want to be very, very clear here. I cannot independently say to you and confirm to you that this is a fact. I will say to the one of two people that have contacted me as a 1,000% average on the things that they've informed me of."
So for you that don't know, Indiana Jones comes out this year, June 30th.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Very soon.
Very, very soon. Now, that YouTuber, I watched that clip of his when he said that, and if he's got a source that is 100,000% mostly right all the time, she's probably gone. But that's me. That's just me saying that, She might not be gone. I don't want to get my hopes up too much, but it's definitely a little bit of excitement for some of us here. I think me and Chief had the same headset. Oh no, yours not. I think me and you have the same head.
Mine's wired.
Yeah, wireless.
No.
It's
keep going. Sorry, I'm looking something up.
It's all very interesting where takes can go and directions can go with this, because where does it go from this? How does it go? Because if she is gone, that is one of the biggest direction changes of Star Wars where it could go.
I think she signed a severance deal.
He's doing research on it right now as we speak.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll definitely come back to this topic and address it in probably next week's episode. So you can stick around and find out more. It's mainly a rumor and leak. So there's not a lot of research to go on about her besides researching what's her deals, what her packages are, how long-term committed she was to Disney. It's all searching that. Yeah. But you never know.
Yeah. We never know. Another one that we could possibly see, this is a very slim chance that we see him in the High Republic show, is Kit Fisto, my favorite Jedi of all time. Well, my second favorite. Plo Koon has my number one spot.
No second. You keep talking for a second, brother.
Plo Koon has my favorite spot. No, I'm trying to look up more information on how long Nautilans usually live. but I cannot find any of that information.
I want to say
I don't know.
okay, Chief is going to be happy about this one, and I highly encourage Chief, if it really is his favorite character besides Plo Koon, that he should get this very fast. I like my hair now.
Do you have Kit Fisto's lightsaber? Yeah. That's awesome.
The saber is really unique, you know.
Yeah, it is. It's got a very interesting emitter shape and everything like that. It's freaking cool.
You know, his saber was literally made for combat, you know.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that masters to actually master, well, not sorry, he mastered Form 1, and it's a very dangerous form if you know how to master it properly.
He also was the one to universalize 2 crystals in your saber for underwater combat, because he is from an underwater planet. So, most Jedi in the New Republic, or should we say the New Empire,
literally,
we talked about this on last week's episode if you weren't here. But a lot of Jedi in the New Republic have 2 crystals in their lightsabers because Kit Fisto kind of paved the way for it.
He did.
It's very cool. Very nice.
He did. Really did. He might be a possibility. You could see all that good stuff. Like we said before, the big hinges of the future of Star Wars, which we'll definitely come back to with Kathleen Kennedy once we do a little more research on it, because it's very interesting. It's a rumor. It's a leak going around. All that. It's mainly a rumor, but also considerably a leak, because the rumor technically starts with the YouTuber, but his leak is what's giving him that rumor. Yeah. So it's a leak and rumor combined. So we'll definitely do our own research to see if she's 100%. Gonna what her deals are, what her packages are, if she possibly is going. But the main thing we want to talk, just the dress here, the topic here is the Acolyte, because even with her going, the Acolyte Mandalorian basically don't pardon my language here, have Star Wars by the balls, because they can take the directions anywhere they want, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I'm looking up one more thing.
Of course it is. You know, but that is literally the direction we could go here with one of these guys, you know. It's all depending, it's all variant, you know, it's all figuring out how it's gonna go. You know, the big topics are, is Star Wars finally going to talk about the higher, well, not finally talk about, we're talking about the High Republic era. They're finally gonna address the Old Republic era and KOTOR, you know. Are we finally going to see films like that, you know? And if we are, leave down the comments you want to. How many films would you want to see from the Old Republic era? Maybe shows now, you know? I think we never talked about this, but usually we didn't think that Star Wars shows for live action would really become a thing until now. Mm-hmm. So what shows could they do? How many movies, you know?
I have theories about this, Shane. Okay, so I'm going to nerd out here for just one more minute. There was a Jedi by the name of Asherad Het, who was training about the same time as, he was Padawan about the same time as Anakin. So he became a Jedi Knight also around the same time. During the Clone, it might have been after the Clone Wars. So we might actually see this if we get a second season of Obi-Wan, which I don't think we will, but if we do, we might see this. He was a Tusken. He was from Tatooine. He was born in a Tusken tribe. So he kept his face covering on at all times. In one of the duels that he had with Obi-Wan after Order 66 happened, he got demasked. And in Tusken culture, that's like getting your helmet removed in the Children of the Watch. You are disowned. You can't come back. So what he turned to was the dark side of the Force. His name was Darth Krayt. Darth Krayt, in my opinion, one of the coolest Sith Lords ever. Here's why. He threw out the rule of 2 and put back in place the rule of, so many Siths we can't even.
Real quick to address, is this during the Imperial Age?
Post-Imperial age is when
New
Darth
Republic?
Krayt. Possibly post New Republic as well.
So sequel era?
Possibly. I need to do a little bit more research on it. I will get back to you on that, though.
Okay.
I'll get back to you on that. We could also see a Thrawn show.
Yeah, I would love to see a Thrawn show. I would love to see that tactical mind man go to work on New Republic.
They need to, if they do it though, they need to follow a Thrawn Ascendancy and then the other book.
Correct.
I forget what the other book is. You probably do know because you're a Thrawn fanboy.
I would love to see Thrawn's Revenge.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I would love to see Thrawn's Revenge turn into a book.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, the future of Star Wars is crazy, guys. It's really crazy. It's what can happen, because I think the 2 areas where we're going with is you're going to stick with the Mandalorian shows, basically the post-Imperial Age, New Republic Age, before sequel age is where we're going to stick with for this type line, and we're going to mainly focus, and then the Acolyte, which could take us into the past, it could take us to High Republic, Old Republic, all that juicy stuff that has not been touched, that needs to be like actually adapted, because if Lucasfilm does it, they'll basically have already signed on for like $1 million box office, because Star Wars fans will go out to see this, Given Disney now, they basically re-earned the trust of the Star Wars community to like go see the movies again and shows,
Yeah.
So come on, it's gonna be good. I want to see it. I want to see the juicy stuff. I really want us to get down into like the High Republic era. The High Republic is so fascinating to me. It may not be dealing with Sith as much, but you're really dealing with like the Jedi and how they operated back then. And when you read it, you're like, how did they go from this to the Phantom Menace Jedi? But like, come on, not saying the Phantom Jedi are like weak at any level. They just got very caught in politics, which should have not been the aim. Because I will stand by this hill, send some of my prequel Jedi back into the Old Republic and High Republic era, and we'll have some of those guys bodied in no time. Bodying people.
Mace Windu.
You send him back into the Old Republic era and made him fight a bunch of Sith. That man would have some fun.
Bodied.
He would body some Sith.
He would.
Not like the upper, maybe like the upper ones would be way more challenging, but like my man would have body. Malgus, I think
Malgus he'd have a tough time with.
Revan would be a tougher time, but I think he can beat him.
I think after a while, the endurance game goes to Mace Windu over Revan, but the pure strength output of Malgus, Malgus would have him beat.
Yeah, Malgus' strength, but we have to continue. Like we have to take a big idea. Windu may not be the strongest. My man knows how to hold his own, though.
Does. He's also trained in Form 7.
Yes.
So we don't know.
If they give us ever a Vader show and show Windu as the antagonist, I would love to see how Windu holds against Vader.
Was that a fan video that was made about that, or was that a confirmed trailer?
No, that was a fan thing for Star Wars Theory, because he's doing that, and I would love to see it. Because Windu's a bad guy, but we're getting off topic here. But still, we're gonna readdress some of these things. I think. Get ready for next week's episode, because Chief, you'll get to know Chief and me. We're gonna be talking about Skeleton Crew.
Ooh, yes, I need to do more research on that show
and where Skeleton Crew can lead us into.
Yes.
Acolyte, though, a lot of rumors and leaks going around. Leaks of the set photos, we can theorize. Biggest takeaway though is if that show does amazing, we're going into High Republic and Old Republic eras. Mandalorian's probably going to keep us locked in the New Republic era, the post-Imperial age, the 5 years after Return of the Jedi stuff, but it is big stuff of where you can go with a lot of stuff,
Yeah. Alrighty.
Big takeaway. So we've reached our time. We don't want to keep you guys any longer. An hour is pushing it. Sometimes, no, I'm joking. I love to do 2-hour shows. No, I'm joking. We couldn't. But thank you for joining us today, everybody. Thank you for coming out today and being part of this week's episode. Where you could find, I'm obviously Shane, your host. Where you can find me at is King Faye Official, basically on everything. Type in King Faye Official, you find me on TikTok. That will lead you straight into the Discord, and you can join us and actually talk to us one-on-one and share your opinions with us.
Yeah.
Literally, so just copy paste that King Faye, maybe lowercase the K and F. Type in official, go to TikTok. There's the Discord link in there, a couple other links in there. Lead you all around, and I highly suggest you do that. But that's where you can find me at. And I'm your host, obviously Shane. And then Chief, where can we find you at?
Hi, I stream on Twitch sometimes. Chief X Hawk. That's where you can find me, all caps except the X. You can also find me over in Star Wars Unity Discord server over here with Shane. Other way, sorry, camera's inverted.
Yeah.
We have a great time. I have links too. Don't have the links right now for you. I'm very sorry.
I think what we'll start doing is we'll start posting the links in the description that you can use.
Yeah. I have my own Discord server. I'll probably end up throwing that link in the self-promotion.
I'm joking. Right. I'm in it.
Removal of mod powers from you, Mr. Sir. All right. I appreciate y'all coming out for the show. And yeah, next week, Skeleton Crew.
As I said, Skeleton Crew. We'll discuss a little bit more Captain Kennedy. We'll maybe touch back in the Acolyte, but our big topic will be Skeleton Crew. What that show is possibly holding for us. It's because I've read some stuff already about it. Chief, I would love that you do your own research about it. I encourage that. I also encourage you all that are watching this, do your own research on these Star Wars projects that are coming up and keep in touch, with the community, Don't always take everyone's word for fact. And I know you guys don't, and I know our viewers don't, but still, don't take everyone's thing into fact, But I'm your host, Shane Sherman, and Chief David is my co-host. This way, I feel this way. It's inward, This is David, my co-host. Thank you for being here, everybody, today. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful night for some of you that are tuning in, and it's later that night. But take care. I love you all. I said that's so weird. Take care. Bye-bye.